this is Ernest from theartofbeinghuman.com with an input on how to do self-inquiry and the work of Byron Katie. One of the most common challenges in the work is this. How do I turn around something that really happened? When you're new to the work and you begin working with the turnarounds, it can seem like you're being asked to deny reality. But this actually happened. How can I turn it around? It feels so obvious, like there's no question about it. She was angry with me. I saw it with my own eyes. He yelled at me. I heard it, and other people heard it too. Or it was raining. That's just a fact. So how can we possibly turn that around? Now, what's actually happening in the work is not about denying reality. It's about questioning the constructions we build around it. And the first step in that process is learning to distinguish between facts and interpretations, because that's where the opening begins. A fact is something observable, something we can all agree on. At least that's the idea. And an interpretation is the meaning we assign to that fact. For example, fact, my child threw a toy. Interpretation, she was angry with me. Fact, it's raining. Interpretation, this will ruin my day. Fact, he yelled at me. Interpretation, he's attacking me personally. Rather than questioning the facts themselves, we can explore our interpretations of them. Yes, it is raining, but is it true that the rain is ruining your day? Could it be that what's actually ruining your day are your thoughts about the rain? Oh, it's raining, now we have to cancel the picnic and I won't get to talk to Susie and I really needed to talk to her because this and that in my future. Or, oh, it's raining, I just washed the car yesterday and now it's already dirty again and I have that big meeting tomorrow, what will people think? Or I was planning to go for a run, but now I have to skip my workout and I won't get in shape. The rain itself is neutral. For some, it may even be a blessing. For a farmer who desperately needs it for his crops, or for a child who loves jumping in puddles, or for someone who just enjoys the smell of fresh rain and a cozy day indoors. That's the first layer. Instead of working on the facts, we can focus on our interpretations. But as we explore deeper, we start to see that even the facts we hold on to are not as fixed as they seem. What we call a fact is often already filtered through our perspective, assumptions, and our personal history. And this is where the work really starts to open things up. Take that example, my child threw a toy at me. Is that fully true? Maybe she threw it just out of frustration, not to hurt me. Or maybe she wasn't even thinking of me, she was just releasing her emotions. Or maybe she wasn't throwing it at me, she was throwing it at her story about me, the annoying parent, not at me as a whole person. At first, this can seem subtle, but as you continue doing the work, you start to see how much of what we call facts is shaped by interpretation. So how do we turn around something that apparently really happened? Well, start by separating the raw facts from your interpretation, right? For example, if the belief is, he wrongfully attacked me, first, look at what actually happened. He raised his voice, he spoke quickly, his face was tense. That's what I can observe. What's the interpretation? He was yelling at me. It was an attack. He was wrong to do it. He wrongfully attacked me. Now, rather than treating the interpretation as fact, take a closer look. Are you sure he was yelling at you? He had just entered the room. He doesn't even know you. Maybe he wasn't yelling at you as an individual, but at the situation, the authority figure, or the obstacle he perceived in that moment. And are you sure it was an attack? Could it be that he was simply overwhelmed, frustrated, or even fearful, and was expressing that the only way he knew how? And are you sure he was wrong to do it? What if in his mind this reaction made perfect sense in the moment? That's how you do it. What if he was doing, in fact, the best he possibly could with what he was experiencing? When you break it down this way, the turnarounds become much more accessible. And still, sometimes, when you're new to the work, a belief can feel so fixed that turnaround seem impossible. And if that happens, be gentle with yourself. Just move on to another belief and keep working with what feels accessible, and then possibly later come back and see if the stuck belief has loosened. Over time, as you continue practicing, the mind naturally opens, and what once seemed like a fixed fact may now actually feel much more flexible. So, how do you turn around something that really happened? First, distinguish facts from interpretations. The pain usually comes from the interpretation. Second, look deeper. Even facts may not be as fixed as they seem. And third, if you feel stuck, move on and return later. This process gets easier with time. So next time you work with a turnaround, try these approaches and see what opens up. And if you'd like to go deeper with self-inquiry, I invite you to visit my website, where you can find a bunch of free resources along with courses and videos and podcasts and much more. Just visit theartofbeinghuman.com and take a look around.